Okay, in this video we're going to install the vbox tools to allow us to have a shared drive between our Ubuntu server and our host machine. So I'm going to boot up my Ubuntu server, which I just installed fresh. So directory that I want to link to, that I create a share to, and my notes, which you should always try to keep notes when you're working on a project. All right, you don't have to turn your notes in, at least in this project, but you should have your notes. All right, that way you remember what you did and when you did it. All right, so this is booting up. I'll pause it here, and then I'll come back when it's done booting up to save on time. Okay, it's come up. It actually came up right away after I paused. And what I'm going to do is type in my username and my password. Superpass 106 Inc. There we are. We're in. I'm going to do clear, so I'm at the top of the list. All right. So the first thing we need to talk about is mounting the Cd-Rom. So if I right now I have nothing in there. That's why we have that. So I can just click Insert Guest Additions in a CD image. If I do have something in there, I'm going to have to click Remove Disk from Virtual Drive and then click on that. All right, so there I am. Now I have mounted in the vbox tools disk in. So I'm going to CD into dev. Well, I don't really have to CD into dev. Let's use the full extensions. Let me go right to root. All right, so right now I got to make a directory to mount to. So we'll be good and use media, or we could do mount as well, but we'll do media, which is a little bit less awkward. We'll call it Cd-Rom. So I'm going to make a directory called Cd-Rom. I need to sudo that, so I'm going to have to type the password in again. Superpass !106 Inc. All right, there we are. We've should have created it. I can verify by doing an ls media and there's Cd-Rom. There you go. All right, so now that we've done that, we can map or mount our DVD to that mount point. So we're going to mount dev Cd-Rom over to media Cd-Rom. It's going to warn me first to use sudo like an idiot. I'm going to keep doing that. It's going to warn me that's read-only. That's fine. It makes sense because it's a CD-ROM. So now I want to copy those files over, but in order to copy those files, I'm going to make a folder. I'm going to make a directory in my home folder for, we'll call it vbox tools. I'll underscore it. I like it better. vbox tools. There I am. Made that directory. Now I'm going to copy the contents of the Cd-Rom. Media. Cd-Rom. Over to, well, star. Give me everything. Over to my folder I just created. So it's going to be tilde vbox. Alright, I'm tabbing out. When things just appear like that, means I'm tabbing out. It's going to be recursive and it's going to be verbose. I'm going to hit enter. I have copied, well, I'm currently copying. I have copied everything over. Now that that's copied, I can go over to my home directory, to the vbox tools folder, do an ls. Now, since I did a fresh install on this operating system, I'm going to have to download and install my build essentials tools in order to do the install. So I'm going to do a sudo app install, because if I try to run, by the way, if I run it right now, let's just run it for giggles, and I do vbox and then short L for additions, that makes it unique. I tap it out. It's going to tell me, well, first of all, I have to be in as an administrator. It's going to tell me that first. And it's going to say not going to work because you don't have the builder essentials. Eventually. There you go. So please install the GCC Perl packages from your distribution. So let's do that. We're going to do sudo app install builder essential, not plural, essential. I always screw that up. DKMS. I'm going off these notes right here because this can get complex. Linux headers. No space, dash, $, because we're passing a variable uname -r, space -r, I should say. Alright, we're going to run that. Unable to locate it. Where did I mess up? Oh, it's build, not builder. I always have to get it wrong. There we go. We'll let that install. It's going to take a couple seconds. It's downloading it from the internet, so I need internet to do this. I'm going to pause, and I'll come back when it's done. Okay, now that that's installed, I can go back and run vbox Linux editions. So if I do a ls, you can actually see this is everything I copied over from the CD-ROM. I've copied it onto my hard drive. I'm not 100% sure that's necessary, but I do it anyway. So you can put a -d just to accept all defaults. I'm actually going to run it and show you all the defaults and just accept them, to be honest. All right. So again, it's removing what I did earlier, which was half install it because I didn't have the builder, build essentials in there. Now it's actually going to get to the actual install. Excuse me. Okay, this is taking a little bit longer than I expected, but I think it primarily is because I did that install first. That was probably a mistake. It's making this go a little bit slower than it normally does, because again it has to uninstall or reinstall. I'm starting to wonder if I should pause. What is going on here? Alright, well this is getting a little boring. I'm going to skip ahead, I suppose, until I get my first question. Alright. Okay, it didn't come up with any questions. I was actually maybe mistaking that up. I made a mistake with the VM virtual machine tools. So after it came back, it said until the system restarts, so it's going to want to restart. We're actually going to do a full shutdown. So -P for power down, and we're going to do it now. The reason why I'm going to do that is because I'm going to change my settings. So if I go back in here and click on settings, and I click on shared folders, I'm going to set up my shared folder now. We're going to go to this path right here, this VM share under my documents. So instead of typing it out, I'll just bring up documents and VM share. Select that. We're going to auto mount it. We'll go for that. I don't know whether or not that'll actually work. And we're going to mount it up to, oh, I didn't create it yet, did I? Oh, well. We'll put it in there, home, JJAlves, and then we'll just create a folder called VM share so we don't mess it up. There we go. Hit OK. Okay. And this might, we'll start it up. Start up our server. First thing I need to do is create that folder, and then I'll manually mount it. There we go. And I'm going to log in. There we go. I've logged in. I'm going to clear the screen. All right. So I need to ls. Okay, there's vmshare right there. Let's see if it actually created it. We'll see. vmshare. Okay. Well, that's a problem. So let's just see. I did it in a weird way. I didn't create it myself. Okay. So vbox sf actually set it. So I'm going to change the. Okay. After thinking about it for a second or two, what we need to do is, well, so what's going on is they created the service in the background created this device. So I can add my user. The way it was set up now, I can add my user to that group. Okay, it has to do with the way I set up the shared folder by saying auto mount it, and there's make permanent as well. What I can do is take that off and restart. So what I could do to make this work right now, I'll give a demonstration. I could do a sudo user mod and then -a because it's not going to be my primary group, -g, and then I put the group I want to join, which in this case would be vbox sf, and my user, which is jjalves, right? So now jjalves is in that vbox group, so I should be able to cd into vm share. Oh, it took it away. So there you go. When I changed the settings, it took it away. Well, all right. If I didn't take it away, then in theory, because I was now in vbox group, I could get in there. So I can manually mount this. All right. So we have a couple options. If you have that make permanent and make persistent option, then you can do it that way. You can manually mount it. So we'd go sudo mount. I gotta get the names again. It's escaping my. I didn't put it in my notes, so this is my fault. This is why you shouldn't make notes. VM share. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do sudo mount -t for type. In this case, because we have the vbox, it is the file type is, that is in my notes. Vbox tools, vbox sf. So vbox sf. And we're going to do, it was called, I'm sorry, turning my light on. Unfortunately, it's not seeing me. I'm about to throw something. All right. vbox sf, the name of the share, which I just looked at, and of course I forgot because I got distracted. All right. It's going to be VM share or VM shr. So VM underscore shr, and I'm going to do where I want to actually mount it to, which would be home, jjalves, although I could have saved myself by typing by using the tilde, and we use the same name, VM underscore shr. No such file directory. Oh, because I changed it. That's right. So let's do a make dir in here, and we'll do share. We'll call it share. There we go. And then I'm just going to make this share. There we go. And I have to do an ls. There's share. If I cd into share, we'll make a quick file. I can just do a touch. Haha. Haha. As soon as I do that, it should pop up here, haha. Okay. Or, case in point, I can do, I don't have to do a sudo, I'll do a nano, test. This is data. Yay. Alright, write it out, hit enter, Control X. I do an ls, it's here, I double click on it, I open up Notepad, and this is data, yay. Alright, that's one way, that's a manual, but however if I do a restart, so if I do a shutdown, I was in the wrong box, if I do a shutdown restart, that's going to go away. Alright, so what I can do is make it permanent by adding an entry in my fstab. Or if it's available, I suppose, and I like clicking on things, I could make that share folder persistent, and which really wasn't showing up earlier if I think about it. Auto mount and make it permanent. Again, however, if you do that, you're going to have to add yourself to the folders, right? So there's different ways to do that. Do not pyramids. Oh, because it hadn't loaded up yet. That's why it gave me that error. So I got an error saying you can't do it because you don't have vbox extensions, but that's because I didn't have the system already booted up, so the service hadn't started probably. At least that's what I think. We'll find out. 106 Inc. All right. So now I have that to share. Let's do it the manual way. I'm going to map things over to share. Right now I don't have that mapping, so if I CD into share, it's still going to be in there. Well, nothing will be in there, right? This isn't in here, so that's proof that it's not linked right now. So what I want to do is then sudo nano etc modules. I have to let it know about the file system. So that's what I'm putting in modules. App boot up. Again, that was vbox sf. I'm making sure that's true, but I think that is true. vbox sf. Yep. And then, so I write that out. Control O, Control X, and then I'm going to go to etc fstab, and I can put I'm going to check my notes here. You have to use tabs, not spaces here. It's going to be sensitive to, so share name. In this case, it was VM_share. Tab, I think it was the share name, tab, local location. So we got to do the local location, which is going to be home, JJAlves, share. We're going to tab that out, and we're going to do vbox sf, tab that out, and then 0, tab 0. I'll write that out and exit. So I have that both in my. So I'm going to do a shutdown restart. Now, and when it comes back up, it should automatically map. So you have a number of ways to do it. That's the way I prefer to do it, is by doing putting the entry in modules and fstab. Let's see. Oh, it said it failed. It failed. I'll have to go back in the log and see what happened there. As you know, because it failed on the fstab, that it I'm in as root. So we get to do some troubleshooting. That'll be fun. Let me do sudo nano. It's got to be something wrong in the fstab, I think. Fstab. Am I supposed to put default in there? There's something that tells me I'm supposed to do tab 0. But I do have a memory share that does exist, right? Let's take a look. Make sure that didn't get deleted. CD into home, JJAlves, and do an ls. Share is there. Let's try to put default in here. before the zeros. For some reason, I remember that there's supposed to be a default. And I'll tab that out. Or defaults, as you can see above it. Alright. Oh, up here you can see defaults. So let's try that. So I'm going to Control O, enter, exit, and do another restart. Shut down. Restart now. So as you see, the server crashed when it was coming up because the fstab was incorrect. I got a little warning because it told me it failed. And let's see if it pops back up. So we can do some more troubleshooting. Looks like it got through that time. So maybe you need defaults, and I just didn't remember it. I didn't put it in my notes. And super pass question mark 106 Inc. Now I'm up again, and let's see if we got the share. So I'm going to CD into SHR. I'm going to do an LS. Haha, and test is there. Let's really test it out. We'll just touch. Is this working? And by touching, I'm just creating the file. Is this working? Is this work? All right. So there you go. That's a little demonstration with a little troubleshooting, getting this up and running. Good luck. If you run into any issues, let me know. I'll do my best to help you out. All right. Take care.